Hey guys, it's James with 151 Lays. Today I want to talk about how in high school, how I wanted to have a threesome, okay? Now, the story is going to be a little bit different than probably what you're thinking, but I kind of want to go into it. So, when I was in high school, guys, I went to a rock concert with my dad, okay? I was probably either 15 or 16 at the time. I don't remember the exact age, but around that time, right? So we go to this rock concert, right? And the people we are sitting next to, it's a guy and two girls, right? And it's obvious the guy's going to have a threesome tonight. It's obvious to everyone around him. It's obvious to the strangers. It's obvious to the whole, everyone who sees this obvious. He's kissing the girls are kissing him. They're kissing each other. He kisses one while the other watches, and then switches. It's just obvious. It's obvious what's going on. Now, I remember. I mean, it's a very memorable experience. And then I remember they actually, looking back, they both had like the same body type. One was blonde, one was brunette, but they're thin, athletic, probably in the 90-pound range. Looking back on it, probably in the 90-pound range. Just both very attractive girls, right? What I remember most, guys, is the reaction from the other people watching this. Some people are gawking. I mean, obviously, I was gawking because I was looking at it. But I just remember what my dad said. He's like, "Man, what's going on over there? I don't know why you'd want to deal with two women. One is hard enough, right?" I mean, that was his attitude, right? But I was inspired by it, guys. I was inspired by it. It was the first time, I think, in my life I thought that was a possibility, right? I wasn't even aware. I might even have been 14. Shit, I might have even been 14. Either way, I wasn't even aware that was a possibility until then, all right? I wasn't even aware. So, we're going to fast forward maybe 6 months. Well, anyways, the point is, guys, I wanted to be desired by that. And I wanted the reversal. I wanted to desire something like that, right? You could just see the desire in all three, right? I wanted to experience that, right? So we're gonna switch 6 months later. I don't remember exactly how the conversation came up. I don't remember what the question was asked, but I do remember my reply. A friend of mine's asked me something, and I said I would like to date a girl who dates other girls with me, right? That's how I worded it. That's how I worded it. I got slapped by my guy. My guy reached across the lunch table and slapped me and said that was wrong. Like, he was morally horrified, okay? He said that was wrong, and then he went into a lecture about how he would never cheat on his girlfriend, and what I was wanting was just not right. Like, kind of gave me a moral lecture, okay? Now, what blows my mind, though, is that the individual that slapped me, the individual that lectured me, he had a girlfriend, they were banging. They were not married, right? So I knew it wasn't like a religious thing. His brother had dated a couple girls. He had no problem with that. But me wanting to date a girl who also, the two of us dated girls together, that was wrong. That was like the line in the sand, right? And this is like the first time I realized that what I wanted was a little bit outside the box, right? This is the first time I've encountered, because you're 16, you don't really have a good context for the world. But this is like the first time I'm getting pushback from the world from what I want, right? And there's other instances in my life where I wanted something and I get pushback, right? Now, the funny thing is, I know guys will say they want threesomes, right? I know a guy, like, oh yeah, I love that. But saying something and wanting something aren't the same thing, right? Like, for me, it wasn't, I didn't want to be cool, right? That wasn't it. It was just, I remember that level of desire I witnessed, and I wanted that. I wanted that. I just didn't realize that other people didn't want me to want that, if that makes sense. And this concept I'm kind of talking about, guys, and this is really the lesson I'm trying to get into, right? The idea, the principle I've come to the conclusion is that every society, city, ethnic group, whatever, every tribe, we can say, has its worldviews, it has its ideas, and it has its beliefs, right? Okay, it has its worldviews, ideas, and beliefs. And if you fall out of line, out of pocket with that, if you're outside of it, I believe this. They will first try to convert you, right? Like, hey, come back to the campfire, right? Come back to the tribe. Be one of us, right? That's first. And then they'll try to kill you, or they'll try to destroy you, or stop you, or it's just they get in your way one way or the other, right? I've noticed this. Now the Good Looking Loser had an article. I can't remember the exact title, but I think it was like how life improves when you stop giving a fuck. I mean, that's basically his solution. Don't give a fuck and get rid of them, right? And that's pretty good advice, actually. Phenomenal advice. To not give a fuck. Well, I want to phrase it. I don't think wording it don't give a fuck is quite accurate. I mean, it's true, but I like to look at it this way. Only give a fuck about your goals, right? Only give a fuck about your goals, right? That's probably, I think, a way better way to look at it. In any case, the point I'm making is that I have noticed, and I believe that they're like, if you try to step outside a pocket of whatever your tribe is, if it's your coworkers, your family, the town you live in, if you step out of boundaries of like the majority belief, they'll try to pull you in, or they'll try to destroy you, right? That's a pattern I have seen. That's a pattern I have seen throughout my life, right? So to answer your question, because I know this is the question follow-up. Did I ever get that threesome? No, I have not been very successful in that at that level, right? I did actually about a month ago try for a foursome because I was like, well, fuck it, why not? Crashed and burned terribly, but hey, at least I was like, well, what do I gotta lose? I had nothing to lose, so I went for it. But I crashed and burned, okay? Anyways, guys, what I wanna basically impart on you is two things. One, don't feel weird for having goals that are outside of your tribe. As long as they're not like greatly immoral, right? Greatly illegal, greatly immoral. Like, I think we all understand what's right and wrong in a general sense. Okay, so that's one. And two, when you pursue these goals, understand you might get resistance, right? Like right now, guys, I'm going for a six-pack, right? I just got out of the gym. I fucking hit it hard. I've been hitting the gym 6 days a week. All right, guys, been hitting the 6 days a week. I want the six-pack, and I'm already getting resistance in the sense of, why do you got to go to the gym every morning? Like I hear this every day. Why do you got to go to the gym every morning? Because I want the six-pack, right? And that's something, I don't even think that's controversial. I mean, God, if you think having a threesome's controversial, then getting a six-pack is way beneath that, in my opinion. But for some people, that they don't like that. All right, guys? So, and then I'm going to finish the story about my friend who slapped me. Like, what happened? There's a little bit of an ironic ending to this story, guys. So, like I said, he slapped me and then gave me a lecture about how he'd never cheat on his girlfriend and how it was wrong. In the end, his girlfriend cheated on him and had a kid with the guy she cheated on him with, right? So the guy she cheated with, she ended up having his kid and broke it off with him, right? So that lecture he gave me was a little little self-serving, a little not hypocritical, but it was just ironic how he's giving me this lecture about what's right and wrong, and meanwhile his own camp's not all that great. So that's the story, guys. I hope you got something out of it, and I will see you guys on the next video. Later.